It's obvious that this has everything to do with America. Now, within this thing came, I get this shaken. Okay, within this thing came a lot of knowing. I automatically start understanding things from a divine perspective. This symbol carries more information than we could put together by articulating or comparing notes or anything like that. If you look into this, you will right away see this. G O D K I N G. This is all symbolic. This also came with an archangel, Raphael. His color is emerald green. Emerald green. Now, for 5 years, this covenant of judgment that archangel came with this thing with was that of be true, stay true in all that you do. While he was coming through the atmosphere, that's the locomotion sound that he was making coming into the atmosphere as an archangel. Be true, stay true in all that you do. This is the covenant of judgment. This thing been running for 5 years until last Christmas when this thing went like this. It fell. On Christmas Day last year was the final day for man to exalt into the heavens. And what happened last Christmas Day? JWT was sent up. You all know what JWT is, the greatest technological advancement of man. It went out into the cosmos to do what it does best. But now, after last Christmas, you end up with two worlds, two different worlds. Gravity is not feeding these worlds no more. There's the world that God is talking to us from, and then there's the world that is reacting to God's work and God's movement on the face of this earth. It's obvious. So last Christmas when this fall happened, it was that of the divine masculine. That reign is over. This, let's kill them all and start again. Kill them all and start again from the divine principle of no consequence is no longer going to be accepted in the divine realm, because Her Majesty have been intruded upon by where men should not have been. She decides this game will no longer be played. She is coming back as Queen Bee. We are not prepared for this. We treat our women so badly. There are whole nations of people that make it their duty to suppress women. What do you think is going to happen when the Queen Bee comes back? She's going to make sure that that nation only has women, children, and within a generation, that nation will cease to exist. That's the power of God. It's not my opinion. I just know what's happening here. There's no bleak future for us now that she's coming back. Everyone will get exactly what they deserve. That's the judgment of Archangel Raphael. Everyone will get exactly what they deserve. Nobody's coming to pull a book up and read about you. To your own self, you must be true. So all that you've done is within yourself, and it's emitted, and it creates an energy that's read from all across the galaxy. You can't hide this. You had one chance at life, and you were given a talent to support you through that life. And what have you done with it? That's your thing. That's between you and Archangel Raphael. But as I said, there are two worlds here now. Two worlds. In the center of this, that's saving our asses, is God's Shem come at this time, and Mayat. And the abundance of the universe don't come raining down in here and make it never to again to be a place of man. This was about to happen. The blackness is the most abundant force in the whole universe. It's 528 hertz. It's measured. The frequency of love is black. Unforgiven is not going to be forgiven of anything that's wicked and unjust. This is a reprieve right here. This is a reprieve. Say, let's carry out this judgment. Let's be fair from God's point of view. Let's be fair. Let's carry out this judgment. Let's see who amongst them should be saved. This judgment is over. It's not coming. It's over. It's a 7-year judgment, and 5 of those years have passed, plus this fall happened. So for this year and the remainder of this year, in any court of law, when the trial is done, you have closing arguments. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe we missed something. That's where I'm coming from at you. One last chance, because this case is closed. Christ in mass have already judged the last 5 years. That case is closed. That's why this flip happened on Christmas Day. So what happens after this years of closing argument? Then there will be 2 more years. Okay? 2 more years, 2023, and then the last year, 2024. 2023, it will be the year of conviction for your judgment. Then 2024, it will be sentencing of that conviction. A lot of people that cause problems for the earth won't make it beyond 2024. And then the Omega comes, Her Majesty.
Jupiter is recognized in Noon sign as the orb of justice. She was the one who sent Alpha Uno in NoopooH's name, and she taught Alpha Uno about religion, pantheism, and Noon, because that is what is in her zodiac house. It is her who teaches Tarkin on NoopooH as well. Let this be known. Listen to reason. The mercy, forgiveness, and scapegoat dogma of religion obstructs justice. Justice is hard and also heavy, and if it is tempered with mercy and forgiveness and scapegoatism, it is not justice any longer, but compromise for transgressions instead. When justice becomes compromised, the compromise encourages further iniquities and transgression, and we end up with a world like we have today at the time of this writing. Compromise or transgression means that the violation of the laws of nature have not been accounted for in the right way, because accounting for transgressions is paying the penalty for iniquity required by the laws of nature. The only way to ultimately satisfy the laws of nature is for the guilty party himself or herself or his or her own kind pay the penalties required by natural law. Let it be remembered well. Listen to reason. When someone qualified determines by sound right reason what the law or penalty by nature are for a particular transgression, the degrees that the calculated person might differ from the exact law and exact penalty by nature is adjusted by the balancing powers in nature in one way or another, but always on the guilty person or his kind. During the moon cycle, scapegoatism, the guilty placed blame on the innocent, was common practice and permissible, but now that the moon cycle is over, that diabolical practice is not only ineffective, but now causes backlash penalties on the person or persons guilty, and all the unaccounted for transgressions during the moon cycle must be paid for now. And this fact is the one of the major causes of Armageddon, the war of justice and balance. Let it be remembered always well. Nature Book 2, pages 158 to 159. Listen to reason. This writer has already explained how Jupiter is the planet of justice and has always been throughout time. Religion was created by our moon. That's why it was called the moon cycle. These quotes we read above showed us that Sepo and Jupiter were beefing for 6,000 years, 4,038 BC to February 5th, 1962. Take a look at this smart circle this writer had Quipu designed for me. Alright, so here we have a SMAP. And here in the top half, which I showed in another video, each section of the SMAP, one of the Ennead was ruling. So we focusing on Jupiter, which is the planet of justice. Well, I'm going to go into that further later on, so don't worry about that. Just focus on that we got the SMAP circle up here. Alright, at the top, in the top half. And then we got the zodiac signs at the bottom. Alright. During the top half, all 9 Pygmy-God races were ruled by a 9-ball orb as shown in a previous video. All orbs have attributes. However, I wanted to focus on Auntie Jupiter at this point. When the orbs Just like all of existence reached the bottom half, things reverse over millions of years. So when you look closely at Jupiter at the top, it says justice. The top is, now look at the bottom half and what it says. All right, that's injustice. We're gonna get to that in a moment. Injustice. Listen to Sound Right Cosmic Reason. If you watch the Equal Stood, the video on opposition of 180 degrees, which you can find on my YouTube, that goes into what was on one side either have an equal opposite in the negative, or it becomes the equal opposite of its positive self millions of years later. It explained how what was positive on one side of the smack circle became negative on the opposite side of the smack circle. So when Auntie Jupiter reached the last 6,000 years of that 3 million year epoch, the moon started and the moon cycle started and held back Jupiter's justice powers. Now that the moon cycle is over, it's Libra time. So that's what it wants you to understand. So over here in the Virgo section is directly opposite of Jupiter on her end, because Jupiter is so you got to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you count the zodiac signs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the Virgo cycle is the 6th cycle, and instead of being a justice cycle on this end, it became an injustice cycle on this end. Listen to reason. The word Libra is short for liberation, and we all are at the beginning of the Libra cycle, which is the first third of the revolutionary cycle. The revolutionary cycle lasts for 18 million years, and the Libra cycle is the first 6,000 years of the revolutionary quarter. The moon cycle is the last 6,000 years of the Virgo cycle, and the sun cycle is the first 6,000 years of the Libra cycle. The word Libra is the acronym of the phrase "Let it be remembered always," and the word Libra does mean liberation, balance, equality, and justice, which is long overdue on Mother Planet Earth. It is true that NoopooH will help cause these values and qualities and standards to happen via atmospheric positive changes, positive knowledge, positive understanding, and positive wisdom in the powers of the one supreme being who is absolute eternal nature. Let it be remembered always, let it be known. Transcript of the audio tape, page 17. Here you got it's Libra time, comes out to 56. It's Justin's time, comes out to 56. Jupiter time, come out to 56. Hopefully y'all getting the picture. Listen to reason. Here's a word of encouragement to the intelligent, the nature-wise. You have the opportunity and ability to survive Armageddon. The climax war between rightness and wrongness, knowledge and ignorance, truth and falsehood, honesty and deception, justice and iniquity, and being intelligent will cause you to do just that. But you must also help the foolish duly help themselves by giving to them positive guidance in accord with the nature of nature as outlined in this presentation, and likewise this word too. The unintelligent, the foolish, the believers in scapegoatism and one-sided racism. The time has finally come for each and everyone to stand on his or her own feet and merits and be judged by nature and the laws thereof through natural processes of change from one major cycle, the evolutionary cycle, to another major cycle, the revolutionary cycle. Read the preceding paragraphs in this topic again and see figure 7 and its explanations in part 2 of this book for further clarity. The big circle turns counterclockwise and it is beginning to go upward on the right side now from point 3 south. See figure 6 in part 2 in accord with the laws of nature and the positive powers of nature called Noon and NoopooH. Let it be remembered, always let it be known. Nature of Nature, Book 1, pages 267 to 268. Let's read the previous quotes then. Listen to reason. Now that the moon cycle, the cycle of forgiveness and mercy is over, sacrificial lambs and also scapegoatism for the guilty and by the guilty are unacceptable and ineffective. In this Libra cycle, and therefore such sacrifices as the innocent paying penalties for the guilty will cause negative backlash and laws of nature, destruction of the guilty, because the moon cycle, which is the last part of the evolutionary cycle, is over, and every person, place, and thing existing are going into a revolution cycle now, the cycle of judgment, and restoring balance to persons and things for the first part of the present cycle. The revolutionary cycle is the cycle of Libra. See figure 7 in part 2 of this novenary science for the evolutionary and revolutionary cycle shown. Let it be remembered always and let it be known. Listen to reason. According to sound right reason, who is NoopooH, and the smack circle of order, and also the cycle and season of the smack circle of order, the time and cycle for judgment and settlement of past and present iniquities is at hand, and not just because the messenger who says so, but also because all evidence and signs of the time say so, as pointed out in this science of 9 News. And the writer repeats, the guilty are those who have willfully broken the laws of nature and intentionally done wrong acts to others and never accounted for them by punishment, although the acts were unjustified. A nature-wise person is one who never unreasonably selfish and is thereby always willing and ready to stand on his or her own merits, whether they be negative or positive, and is always willing and ready to do what is right to the best of his or her knowledge and capacity and ability. Let it be remembered always, let it be known. Nature, Book 1, pages 266 to 267. Listen to sound right reason. Ever since this writer returned back to YouTube April 5th, 2022, on Remiel Mod's page, I did a YouTube video called Talking to NoopooH Breaks Down Nature Boy and the 3 Guard at 3 Guard TV. That was a month ago. This writer has repeatedly said and shown the exact date of the ending of evolution on February 5th, 2025, which is 2 years, 8 months, and 7 days from now. We all are being judged, and many of you are ignorant to this. Look at the gematria of signs. See, 1962 to 2025 equals 9, 27, 27, 27, 27. February 5th, 1962 to February 5th, 2025. Look at that, 63, 63.
Today.
You can't lose. You got them 9s in there. You can't lose.